What is up, everybody? It's time to get your draft on once again on Underdog. Let's get into a big board and see what has changed and what all the rumors and the hype have people doing in their best ball drafts. We're a month away from the NFL draft, and so all of those rumors are just going to continue to grow and get stronger. And we'll see how that pushes up or down some of these rookies. So let's see. And also, we've got a little bit of action the last week, I believe, last couple of days. Actually, it hasn't even been a week since we drafted, right? Man, actually, we just did this on, what was it, Thursday? What do we do? 2 a week already? Are we that degenerate already?
I think so. Yeah, definitely are. And yeah, not much has changed. Still waiting, I guess. Well, we did get Jameis Winston signed with the Giants, which makes me feel even better about my league neighbors.
Got to.
Aaron Rodgers still out there trying to figure out what he's going to do, I guess.
Well, let's see. We'll talk about neighbors, some of those players, but let's get in this thing. What is up? Other John is in here. Anybody else who's already joined us? Because you got that notification pop up. Let's see if we can get in here. We're going to join the big board. Notice there are only 3. It's big, bigger, and biggest. The little board is gone. That's what that means. I'm pretty sure they'll do another one, right? I'm sure they'll do the little board too at some point. But right now, don't they usually do a second one?
I don't know, because I think after the NFL draft, that's when Best Ball Mania starts and everything starts. So it'll probably just be this until the NFL draft, because they want these to fill.
Okay. Well, then I take back what I said. Don't quote me. There eventually will be another one that's less than $10. But yeah, we're not that far from the draft, so maybe we'll wait. Big board. There's still some. There's a fair amount of entries left. Let's join you guys. You guys already in the comments. Let's get in here. Come on, Clayton. You have nothing to lose. $10. All right, so here we go. Big board. We're gonna get in the same draft in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, is yours already full?
No.
So we did not get in the same one.
Mine has 7 people left to fill. 6 people.
All right. I guess, am I going to have to try to draft 2 teams?
You don't have to. We can just co-draft on yours. It's no problem. We don't want to. There, go ahead and put yours up, and then we'll work it out.
I wonder if anybody even got in this one.
Yeah, that's crazy. It must have been.
I mean, any end gamers.
You must have been the last one in.
I think I was.
And okay, well, mine. I'll leave mine. Mine's still only half full.
All right. Well, I have the 4 pick here.
What is up? We have God, wrestling, and football podcast. That's a lot to cover in one show. I don't really get it all in.
That is.
This is Underdog. Underdog is one of our proud sponsors, and we use Underdog for all our best ball action. So, I mean, I can read it to you. Check down below the little scrolling line or the comment that's in the top of the comments. GWF podcast. If you haven't tried Underdog, get in there, create an account, use Endgame when you check out. They're just going to ask you for a promo code. If you put Endgame in there, then you get a deposit match. They'll match up to $1,000 depending on how much you deposit. They'll match, and you get free picks. So yeah, definitely worth checking out.
All right, took Bijan at the 4.
Bijan to 4, very nice, interesting. Look, it's very different from the last couple of years, right? We got first 4 picks, 3 are running backs.
Yeah, but then we get the wide receiver run here.
Yeah. All right, let's Oh, nice. Well, appreciate it. See, he's jumping on here. Says we helped him win a championship and a third place spot. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, look, All right, what we're trying to do is help you win some tournaments and some big money on
Yes.
Underdog. It's even better, but yeah, definitely want to win your own leagues.
Man, I'm still surprised to see Puka going that high.
Well,
man, Brian Thomas Jr. pick 7 now.
I mean, I understand Thomas in the first round, but yeah, it seems like he's climbing, which is kind of odd. Maybe because Kirk is gone and Ingram's gone. Maybe that's it.
I mean,
Well,
maybe, but I don't like. Why not just take Nico over him?
Yeah. Well, okay, let's talk neighbors. All right, so here's one thing that's kind of changed since last week. The Giants, I don't know if I could say they have their quarterback, but they have a quarterback. It's not Tommy DeVito. Look, just because they got Jameis Winston, does that mean they absolutely are not drafting a quarterback?
No, they definitely still could be drafting a quarterback, but I think this has got to be good for neighbors because it either means we're going to get Jameis Winston, which we know is fantastic for fantasy. Like that's like, no, I don't think anybody can dispute that. It may not be fantastic for the Giants, but it's fantastic for fantasy. Or probably whatever rookie they draft, or a combination of the two. So I think this is great for neighbors either way.
Well, I mean, again, by default, anybody is an upgrade, you know, but the skill set, right? What Winston is good at, it jives pretty well at what neighbors is good at. And I don't remember the exact stat and thing. I could bring it up, but basically the two route types that Jameis Winston was best, not only best at personally, but also one of the best, believe it or not, at last year was the slant route. I think he was third among qualified quarterbacks. And then I want to say it was a go route. Got that right? He was one of the better. I mean, we know he can sling the deep ball. That's never been the question, right? We know he can throw it deep, but he can also make that intermediate pass to neighbors, right? So I'm moving neighbors up. I mean, he was already a first rounder for me. I got him ahead of Puka. I got him ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. I think I have him ahead of Nico too. I mean, he might be a top 5 pick for me pretty soon.
Yeah, I think him and Nico is where it gets close. I don't really understand. All right, thank goodness I don't have to pick CMC here. I really don't want to go running back. Let's go T. I don't understand Brian Thomas going over Nico and neighbors. I know Brian Thomas was great last year, and Brian Thomas is a great player, but Nico was legitimately like the best wide receiver in fantasy his healthy weeks. And there's no Stephon Diggs. There's no Tank Dell. I mean, who did they sign this offseason?
Well, they got Christian Kirk.
Okay. Are we really, is that Christian Kirk is going to kill Nico's value? I mean, come on. Nico has like top 3 wide receiver upside. Like, and so does neighbors. And like, okay, I would probably have BTJ after those guys. Puka is probably the one here in the first round that I'm the most worried about because they just signed Devontae Adams, who was still good last year. It's not like Devontae Adams was total dust last year. Like, he's going to get more targets than Cooper Kupp will. And in those games where before Cooper Kupp like completely disappeared, Puka was good, but Puka wasn't putting up like huge games. He was putting up good games, right? Like 17, 18 PPR points, which, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with that. We're talking about a first round pick here. I need massive upside with my first round pick. So, like, if Kupp was gone and they didn't sign Adams, yeah, I was all in on Puka. But I think Puka probably belongs more like in the second round.
Agree with that. Actually, it's interesting. This draft too. You said, well, here comes the receiver run. It was even more than we thought. Okay, well, go ahead. Who are we staring at here?
Evans? We like Evans here?
Yeah, can't go wrong with Evans. Look, we had after the 3 running backs, after you took Bijan, not a single running back. We have been seeing Deontay in the first round, not in this draft. We saw all receivers, 8 straight. So you never quite know. But I would flip them. And maybe Deontay first round is too early, right? But who do you have ahead of Puka besides Nico? Sun God falling to 11th is kind of surprising too.
I think I would still have Sun God ahead of him. That's probably right after Sun God is probably where I'd feel comfortable with Puka. So right there with like Drake London, AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is where it gets tough, right? Puka, AJB, they're both similar situations now, right? The number one, but with a very, very strong number two receiver next to them. So, yeah, that's where it gets close. Well, we've seen Drake London first round yet.
Yeah, that's some steam for Drake London. I mean, I don't. When you get to that range there, I don't mind it. I mean, Drake London, AJ Brown, Lad McConkey, Tyreek Hill, who I'm really worried about. T. Higgins, JSN. Like, I don't know if I feel like any of those guys. I feel significantly better about. I mean, Drake London was great last year. We gotta hope Michael Penix. I mean, he was great even with Kirk Cousins being terrible. So as long as Michael Penix Jr. is okay, he should be fine.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, and this will probably, depending on what the Falcons do, of course. I don't anticipate them taking a receiver early, but Drake London had a huge target share with the couple of starts in the end of the year that Penix was in there. It helped London as opposed to Kirk Cousins. So I could see a path. I could see it.
Man, Breece Hall at the beginning of the fourth. What is going on?
Man. Yeah, in this draft, running backs are definitely falling. Okay. Other John asking, Gibbs with a third pick. I don't think it's high. I mean, usually we say Bijan before Gibbs, but he's usually top 5, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's not high as far as like consensus ADP goes, but I think it's too high. I think people are forgetting about David Montgomery.
Right.
I think Gibbs still a first-round pick. I think he's worth. I mean, he was a first-round pick last year, and even with Monty healthy, he was fine, right? He was like back end of the first round, and he was fine. He wasn't like terrible or anything, and I think he's still worth a first-round pick. But man, top 3 pick. I mean, we need David Montgomery to either take a huge backseat, which I doubt is going to happen, or we need David Montgomery to get hurt, which could happen. But that's not what I want to bet on with my number 3 pick.
Yeah, well, yeah, and agree. I think some people are getting a little too excited about the way he ended the season. Just forgetting that David Montgomery was conspicuously absent during that stretch.
Right.
Got some hot takes here already. Are we ready for this? I don't know. So Shorty's saying Travis Hunter is the next Justin Jefferson.
If he plays wide receiver in the pros, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what teams. Well, first of all, we got to see where he gets drafted, and then we'll see how that team elects to use him. We like Odunze here.
I love Odunze here.
Let's go Odunze.
Yeah, it probably more than half of what you hear now as far as draft rumors are false because they're being spread by the team that they're talking about, right? It's like misdirection, disinformation. It's nothing new these days. So now it's like, oh yeah, the Titans, they're just going to keep their pick. They want Cam Ward. They're going to take a quarterback, which probably means they're trading down, right? So I think it would make sense for me. Tennessee needs a quarterback, but isn't some other team out there more desperate for a quarterback that they could take advantage of? I mean, that's what they should do. So I could see them, even if they do keep the top pick, taking Travis Hunter. Because if he's really a generational talent, that helps you out potentially at 2 positions. So just hypothetically, what if that happens? What if Travis Hunter goes to Tennessee, who didn't take a quarterback with their first pick? How good can he be, right? Like, who even is their quarterback if they don't draft a quarterback?
Will Levis again?
He's not going to be Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry with Will Levis, but a lot of ifs here.
We like Addison here. We want to take – we got Burrow on the board to stack with T, although Jalen Hurts is somehow still on the board.
Wow. Yeah, but you know what? I think Hurts has been falling. It's weird, isn't it?
I mean, got 8 seconds. Can't think about it.
All right, let's do Burrow. Go Burrow.
Man, it's hard to pass. I can't believe we just passed on Jalen Hurts there.
Yeah, but you got Hurts last draft, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about Hurts in the 5th round. How is Hurts still on the board? Did I miss something? Did he retire? Did Jalen Hurts retire? Did I miss something? How is Jalen Hurts falling this far?
Because everyone's worried that the brotherly shove is going to get banned or something.
I remember last year everybody was so worried about Jason Kelsey retiring. That's it.
Yep. Okay, so we just saw. Actually, okay, no, that was around before. Hampton got taken. Clayton. All right, fine. Let's get to Clayton's comment. No, you definitely do not know with 100% certainty, like none of us do. But he's saying Jonte to the Raiders and Hampton to the Bears, and then later saying that the Bears make it sound pretty obvious that they need a new running back. What do you think about that?
I definitely think the Bears are going running back in this draft. I mean, I could see Raiders going Genty at 6, and then the Bears go Hampton at 10. But man, I know we had it with Bijan and Gibbs, but it's very rare you get 2 running backs in the top 10 picks. But I could definitely see the Bears going running back in this, like in round 2 or something.
I mean, they've already made it pretty obvious they're focusing on offense, right? They've got, 4 offensive linemen that they've signed this offseason, and they've got their quarterback in place, so why not add a running back? I mean, this is an offensive coach, right? So yeah, I definitely think they're taking a running back. How early? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to take a guy like Hampton, And also, I think everyone's now just kind of assuming or talking themselves into the fact that, oh, yeah, there's going to be like multiple running backs taken in the first round. I mean, look, I understand the NFL is, right, it's very much a copycat league. And, we saw last year, it was like the year of the running back. But it was the year of the veteran running back, not the rookie running back. And so I don't know that teams are going to convince themselves that drafting a rookie running back is the way to go necessarily. And also, there's not as many teams that need a stud running back, because now every team uses 2 running backs. Now there are plenty of free agents available that could fill that role where you don't have to spend a first round pick to get a running back. So I think Jonte is a first rounder, maybe Hampton, but I don't think that's even a foregone conclusion either.
Right. I think Genty for sure, but yeah, I just think just teams, again, there's, like you said, there's not a ton of like running back needy teams, and teams just know like they can wait till round 2, round 3 and still get a good talented running back. So use that first round pick on a position of more need, like if you need an edge rusher, if you need help in the secondary, you need help on the O-line.
Exactly. Okay.
All right, we got Pickens, Jaden Reed, Calvin Ridley, Ricky Pearsall, Caleb Johnson, Jacoby Burden.
I mean, the only running back I like there is Caleb, but I'm okay taking a receiver like Pearsall. What was the other one? The first one?
All right. Well, we don't have time for. We got 30 seconds. We don't have time to debate this.
All right, Pearsall it is.
We gotta make faster decisions. I kind of like Jaden Reed there. I know a lot of people aren't going to like Jaden Reed there, but I think he's the perfect pick in this format.
Well, if he's still there on the way back, we'd take him. He's not. Okay. Yeah, Pickens, I don't know. I mean, okay, let's pretend Pickens doesn't get traded, although I still think he will, and Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers. I mean, I'm not going to say he's undraftable or I'm out on Pickens, but how high are you willing to take George Pickens with Aaron Rodgers? Okay, hold on. What we got here?
We like Jacoby, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, Khalil Shakir.
I'm kind of in on Najee in the Chargers.
Najee?
Yeah. Unless you like someone better.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah, it's half PPR. Kaz is asking if we can scroll up on the draft board. We want to see the first couple.
Oh
rounds?
yeah, I had it down because we had the comments up.
Okay. There you go. All right, here you go, Kaz. So yeah, the first round was not crazy or anything. Jameer going before Bijan. Some people will do that. We don't have Gibbs before Bijan, but worked out good. Yeah, we talked about earlier. Brian Thomas again moving up because I think everyone just sees targets opening up for him, right? Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram gone. But Malik Neighbors, I'm still putting him ahead of Brian Thomas. I think no matter what the Jags do or don't do the rest of the way, but the Jags have got to draft a receiver, don't they?
Yeah, but even if they do, I mean, I know last year, rookie wide receivers were good, but that was a good rookie wide receiver class. This is just an okay rookie wide receiver class. I think it's better than people give it credit for, but it's certainly not to the level of last year. So I think the targets are still going to be there for him, but they're not going to be there to the level that Malik Neighbors' targets were.
No, I don't think so. I mean, but again, both are first rounders to me, so I don't think it makes that big difference. But
right.
Yeah, Puka is the one who's still going in the first round that maybe we should rethink. But again, it's not like there's any obvious pick that I would say before him. Maybe AJ Brown. Yeah, let's see. Round 2. So Brock Bowers fell to the middle of round 2. I say fell because we've seen him go earlier than that. Christian McCaffrey, middle of round 2. It's actually a little early for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's been going in the third round in a lot of drafts.
Yeah, I can't get behind that. He looked bad last year. And it wasn't just he looked bad. I mean, he wasn't even the number 1 target on the team. He was number 3.
Well, I mean, that's why, like, someone in the Discord was asking about Jonnu Smith. And, like, basically said, I can see him doing it again because it seems like that's just the way this offense is going to roll now. They want to get the ball out to his hands quickly, so he doesn't get hit at all. And it worked. I mean, for his efficiency. And, I think overall, they still do need some more explosiveness. They still do need to try to go over the top a little bit. Teams are taking that away because they know that's basically the trick. Just don't let Tyreek Hill get behind you. But Tyreek Hill also seemed to struggle on the routes that he did run. So
I took Caleb there to stack with Rome.
Perfect. And then we're done with QB?
Done with QB.
Okay.
I didn't have time to ask you because by the time you would have finished and I would have asked you, we would have auto-picked.
Well, that's the good thing is we're already in sync. You already know basically how I feel about every NFL player. So, Major Teddy wants to know in the Superflex, Hunter or T-Mac?
Travis Hunter?
Tracy McGrady?
Is that Travis Hunter or Trey McBride? Is that who you're asking about? He said yes, Travis Hunter or Trey McBride. I mean, well, again, this really depends on Travis Hunter and how he's going to be used in the NFL.
Yeah,
I know he said he wants to play like every down of on both sides, but this is the NFL. Dude will die. Dude will not make it through an NFL season. And NFL teams know this. They're not going. No NFL team is going to let this guy play. But now he's saying Tet.
So T-Mac is Tet McMillan.
Oh, okay. So again, the argument is the same though. Like, no NFL team is going to be like, okay, Travis Hunter, you can play every. All right, hold on. I don't even know here. I mean, Travis Hunter's on the board. Travis Kelce, Charbonnet, Brian Robinson.
Any tight ends?
I mean, we do, but I don't want to draft Kelce. I feel like it's too early for Njoku.
Could go.
All right.
You
Well,
okay
we
with
don't have
B-Rob?
time to debate this.
B-Rob. That's what I said. B-Rob is good.
Yeah, he's fine. So, like, yes, again, it's going to come down to the team that drafts him and what their plans are for him. This is what makes Travis Hunter so tough. Like, if a team was going to draft him and say he's our starting wide receiver, then I would put him over Ted McMillan. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to draft him and say he's our starting corner, and he'll play some snaps at wide receiver. So, do you really want a guy who's playing 40, maybe 50, which would still, like, look, even if he played 40 to 50% of the snaps at wide receiver, that is a lot to ask of a guy to play 100% of the defensive snaps and half of the offensive snaps. I mean, that is a lot to ask of a guy, especially a rookie. Like, you are really playing with fire as an NFL team. So right now I have to say Ted. But again, it depends. If a team drafts him and say, hey, we want him to be our wide receiver 1, then okay, I'll say Hunter. But I don't think that's going to be the case. We'll see. Travis Hunter is tough. It's tough this year because, again, we don't know it's not like he's declaring as a wide receiver only or a corner only or whatever.
Well, yeah. But I think generally, look, if you asked about a different receiver, one that we're just not completely sure about, like, it's getting hype. He could be a number 1, but we don't really know, like a Golden or, Io Manor or something like that. But with McMillan, he's pretty clearly the number 1 receiver in this draft and the one with the highest ceiling. I'm definitely going McMillan over Hunter because to me, I think Hunter's best case possible scenario as a receiver is that he maybe gets probably not even, but close to like the snap share, the target share, and all that a Tech McMillan will get. You know what I mean? Like that's best case if he's really used almost exclusively as a receiver and sparingly on defense. I don't see it happening. I think, look, it's to me, I don't know if NFL teams agree, which I think they should. It's more valuable to have a shutdown corner than a playmaking receiver. It's just so hard to get a really elite shutdown corner. I just think he's going to be drafted as a corner who occasionally plays receiver. If a team is smart, that's what they'll do.
Exactly, because he can be on the level of a Sauce Gardner or Pat Surtain. He can be on the level of those guys, and that's just so valuable to an NFL team. But again, we'll see. The draft is a month away. We'll see where he goes. We'll see what they say about him. Hopefully, when they draft him, they'll say what their plans are for him. And hopefully, your rookie drafts aren't until after the NFL draft.
There's absolutely no reason for them to be before the NFL draft. Okay, what we got here? We're on deck.
We can either go tight end with Tucker Kraft, or we can go wide receiver Hollywood Brown, Marvin Mims. Well, there goes Hollywood, so we can go Tucker Kraft. Or we can wait and try to get Evan Ingram. We can go like Marvin Mims. We could take Pittman here, even though I don't love it.
Let's go Mims and wait on tight end.
Yeah, we should be able to get. I mean, we can either get Ingram. We should be able to get Ingram or Kincaid on the way back.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab one of those tight ends.
I mean, the guy at pick 1 went tight end with his last 2 picks, so he shouldn't be going tight end here. The guy after us just took a tight end, so.
Took Tyler Warren. Interesting. Okay. And talking about worrying about Tet because the big receiver isn't, maybe in vogue, but still, you say that, but he's not like, he's not like a Chase Claypool type, right? He's more like a Drake London type, and then there's definitely a place for the guy like that.
I was going to say, we have some very good big receivers. I mean, Drake London is a big receiver. Mike Evans is a big receiver. Nico Collins is a big receiver. Puka Nacua is a big receiver. Like, these guys are big receivers that are – I just think it's what's available, right? I think it's just, who's out there as far as, like, what kind of what the trends are at the time. And we've just seen a trend to where, okay, so we'll go Kincaid here. We got to go Kincaid over Loveland, right?
Yeah. And we can actually
I know I like Loveland, but we're still talking about a rookie tight end here.
He should still be available on the way back. Hopefully.
So I don't think teams have gone away from the big wide receiver. I just don't think there's as many good wide receivers these days. But there's still definitely a place for them.
Yeah. And again, whether it's the Raiders or wherever, McMillan, he's going to go early. He's going to go to a team that is looking for an alpha, right? An absolute target hog. So whether he can do it, of course, is, depends. But he'll definitely be put in that position. And we don't know if Hunter will. And again, absolute best case scenario is Hunter gets to play most of his game time snaps on offense. But he's still not going to be counted on to be, I don't think, number one receiver in any offense. I just don't see it happening. All right. Yeah, we don't have any rookies yet. Something wrong with that.
I know. We don't have any rookies. That is not good.
It's time to take some shots.
So we're good at QB. I'm guessing we're going to go 3 tight ends with Kincaid as our tight end 1.
Yeah, and I was completely wrong. I said Loveland might make it back to us. He was taken 3 picks later. So,
yeah. Oh, it's actually kind of funny. Mostert's on the Raiders and Madison's on the Dolphins. Didn't even think about that. It's like they traded.
Yeah, that's sounds like a lose-lose. You think you're right. Clayton or Dylan Sampson. I have not heard anybody else talk about Dylan Sampson.
Well, I talked about him on today's video.
Oh,
and
okay. I haven't seen it yet,
I actually have Dylan Sampson as my RB4 in this class.
RB4. Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, then we got to take him. I don't remember you. Even our 2 we did last week or week before. Have you taken him in any of these yet? The big boards?
I may have taken him last week. I don't remember. I mean, just because I like a guy doesn't mean I get him.
Well, not every time, but got to take at least a little bit.
I'm still not going to, reach on guys, and I'm especially not going to reach on these rookies like a Dylan Sampson, who could potentially have their value just destroyed after the NFL draft.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't want to get overzealous. I mean, but you should be able to get them late, and that's why I'd rather take those guys late. Shorty mentioned RJ Harvey. He's a guy I'm definitely coming up on. I don't have him top 4, but he might be hovering top 5 soon. I'm going to reevaluate right before the draft. But Caleb is after Giante's obvious. Like anyone trying to talk themselves out of Ashton Giante or somebody. Come on. It's clearly him as the number 1. He should be the number 1. I like Caleb Johnson. I like Travion Henderson. I was actually surprised. Fantasy points, which we use a lot. The draft guide they came out with had him number 7 or 8, I think, in this class. It's like that's too low.
Well, I was gonna go Devin Neal there, but with him gone, you're gonna go Jake Ferguson at tight end.
That works.
Travion Henderson is a tough one for me. I still have him as an RB3, but he's like the one guy I could see. Like he's one of the top the consensus top running backs that I could see falling in the NFL draft and everybody being like, what's going on with Travion Henderson? Because, we're talking about a guy who yeah, he's a good pass catcher. He's good in space, but he wasn't even like he wasn't like even the lead runner. Judkins was the between the tackles guy last year. So it's like, is he going to go to a spot? Like, is he going to go to a team that already has, like, let's just say, like, I don't know, a Commanders or, the Chargers, where they already have a established between the tackles runner, and now he's just, he's in like a Tyjae Spears type of role or something like that. Not that I think Tyjae Spears and him are on the same level, but I'm just saying, like, where he's complimenting the lead back, or like in New England where he's complimenting Ramondre or something like that. Like, he's the one I could see like coming out of the draft where it's like, oh, he's not gonna have a 3-down role.
No, and you know what? He actually might be better off not having the 3-down role. He's got that explosiveness, but he's not necessarily a workhorse back. He's more of an all or nothing. Okay, well, now we're up again. What do we?
All right, let's just go Dylan Sampson here.
There you go.
Let's get a shot.
You know who I kind of can, because you have to have a comp, right? You have to have a pass comp. Travion Henderson to me might be kind of Miles Sanders-ish, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. I don't mean Miles Sanders like last year. I mean Miles Sanders like when he first came out. Right, has that home run ability.
Yes.
Right, shiftiness, but it's either like a chunk play or like tackle for loss. Right, there's no in between.
Right.
But he's got good hands, and he could handle a passing down role, but he's not going to be out there, or at least he shouldn't be out there all the time on 3rd down. So kind of like one of those in between, so it really depends on the situation. Like when Philadelphia had Sanders for a while, they didn't have anybody else they used. They used him a lot. But then now you see when he's put in that other role, the efficiency isn't there. Now, Miles Sanders did slow down after he got paid and went to Carolina. So he was good before then. I will say that. He was a little underrated, and then he just, I don't know, fell off.
Yeah, the guy I kind of like, Travion Henderson, does remind me of, in a way, is Aaron Jones. Where if he does land in a spot like that, because remember early on in Aaron Jones' career, it was him and Jamal Williams, and Jamal Williams was more like the goal line between the tackles guy, but Aaron Jones was the guy who was more valuable for fantasy because, like you said, he would rip off those long runs, more pass catching upside.
Right.
That's kind of who I feel like Travion Henderson can be, but I also feel like, but the risk with those type of guys is that they don't become those guys, and they instead become like I said, like a Tyjae Spears or whoever, where it's like, man, if this guy could just get the backfield, like a Chase Brown prior to last year, right? Like, man, if this guy could just get the backfield, but sometimes they never do. Sometimes they never do get the backfield.
That might be a perfect example. Chase Brown, everyone. A lot of people probably thought he was a rookie last year because they had never seen him or heard of him. I forgot, like, he was there the whole time. He just didn't ever do anything as a rookie because they still have Mixon. But that's exactly right. The situation matters because, we all thought Trey Benson last year was going to be great. Like, hey, he's going to pass the torch, right? James Conner is on his way out. No, that's not at all what happened. And Trey Benson wound up being completely worthless, even in best ball. So it might be that situation.
I'll tell you, the guy that I seem to be lower on than everybody is Caleb Johnson.
That's my guy. To me, I get a lot of Kenneth Walker vibes.
Yeah, but I think to me, he's more like Najee Harris, Brian Robinson. Like, he's one of these guys that he's going to churn out the yards, but he's not going to hit home runs. Like, Kenneth Walker can hit home runs. Caleb Johnson, he's got like goal line speed. It's like warning track power, right? Like, it hits the wall, or like you get tackled at the 1. Like, it's a touchdown. Oh no, you got tackled at the 1. Like, he gets caught from behind a lot. He doesn't have that home run speed, he is a guy. But I will say the positive, if we're just looking at it from an NFL perspective, if we take fantasy out of it, is he's a guy like a Najee Harris, for the most part, like a Brian Robinson, these type of guys. Like, he's usually going to go forward. He's rarely going to lose yards.
Yeah.
Which is great for real life, but not necessarily for fantasy. So, and he's not going to be a pass catching back. So I do have my worries about him for fantasy. But now we're on the clock. We could go, I don't even know here. Otten, Komet, Freiermuth, Coker, wide receiver. Giddens, if we want a rookie, we got to hurry. We got 9 seconds.
Let's just go Muth and be done at tight end.
All right, I'm down with that.
Yeah, no, okay. So I hear what you're saying. He had a lot of explosive runs last year, but you're right. He not getting caught by, Big Ten defenders is not the same as not, having NFL defenders run after you. So I think he kind of has that like sneaky breakaway speed, like a guy like Derrick Henry. You don't think that he can outrun defenses, and then he does. So I think he's got enough burst. And like you said, I always look for with running backs for them to actually have a chance to do anything in the NFL is the vision, right? He's got good vision. He
does.
Sees the hole and he hits it, but he's definitely going to be dependent on team. Like, I will drop him several spots if he lands in the wrong, along the wrong team. He needs to be in a team that runs like a lot of zone concepts, and where he can have those holes made for him to hit them, because a team like Iowa, they did a lot of the work for him up front, right? It's easier to churn out those big plays when you have a very run heavy offense. So he needs to land in the right spot for sure.
No, for sure. He definitely does. I mean, and it's the same with any of these guys. Like, when we're talking about, any of these non-pass catching, and when I say non-pass catching, obviously Kenneth Walker catches some passes. Brian Robinson catches some passes. Najee catches some passes. Monty catches some passes. But when we see these guys, like Monty's a perfect example.
All right, we need to get
what do we need here? Alec Pierce, MNR, Josh Palmer.
Sure.
DJ Giddens.
I'll go Palmer again.
All right. Like, David Montgomery's in the perfect situation, right? He's in an offense where he can score a lot of touchdowns. And, I mean, what does Monty do most of the time? Monty gets 3 to 10 yards a carry. Rarely loses yardage, but rarely rips off those long runs like Jahmyr Gibbs. But he's in the perfect environment. And but then you have the flip side where a guy like Kenneth Walker, who not in the perfect environment, we saw what happened last year. Or Brian Robinson, who's in a good environment, but or Najee, who's not in a great environment. So I don't know. I just think there are other running backs in this class who give you, the pass catching upside that also have great vision. Because I do agree he does have great vision, but I think there's a lot of running back. Man, that's what I love about Dylan Sampson. I think he has great vision. He does have legit home run speed. Now, he's also not an elite, like, he's not going to, be a guy that's going to catch 67, 70 passes. Actually, I lied. I have Dylan Sampson is my RB5. I'm looking right now. He's my RB5. I actually have Cam Scatabo as my RB4.
Nice.
And then I have Judkins, then Neal. Then I actually do have Trevor Etienne. I know a lot of people probably aren't as high on him as I am. Then I have Caleb. And then I have Tootin rounding out my top 10.
Well,
but of course, it's all going to change after the NFL draft.
Yeah, I was going to say it'll be very interesting to see where these players go. I'm starting to wonder if everyone's going crazy about this RB class and they wind up not getting drafted as high as everybody thought they would. Everyone's putting
it's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah, you can't put a round 2 or higher grade on 10 different running backs and be real. That's not going to happen, right?
No. It happens every year. People think, that that all these offensive players that we potentially love for fantasy are going to get drafted super high, and then it's like, why did player X not even get drafted?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Again, remember, teams are trying to win football games.
It starts in the trenches.
All right. I don't love D-Hop here. Restrepo. Royals. I don't love Royals. Ollie Gordon. Not big on him. Any of them sound good?
Well, I'm a Restrepo fan.
We can go Restrepo here. We need
more running backs.
We'll probably go like a 2-7-8 build. So we need 2 wide receivers, 3 running backs. Let's go Restrepo. I, for one, am very excited for the NFL draft. I cannot wait.
Always fun. But you had said this a couple weeks ago, and it's probably going to be true. The first round, day one, it's not going to be too exciting for fantasy because maybe we'll have one. I think at most possibly 2 running backs taken. We're not going to have as many receivers taken overall. I'm not even sure. I could see only 2 quarterbacks getting taken, and everyone all of a sudden is saying Jackson Dart, but I don't think it's a shoo-in.
I agree.
All
right, not a lot here. The only running backs are Nick Chubb, Justice Hill, so let's not do that. A.D. Mitchell, Jordan Whittington, Tolbert. I do like Tolbert.
Yeah, Tolbert's fine.
I feel like Tolbert's being a little slept on. He had a nice stretch there.
Hey, that's something else that happened. You saw Michael Gallup to Washington. What do you make of that?
Michael Gallup to the Commanders, which I think means nothing. The guy hasn't played in what, 2 years? Didn't he retire and then unretire?
Yeah, well, I think it was last year. He was I don't even remember what the deal was. I thought he had said he was going to retire.
Anyways, that's like a nothing move to me. But Brandon Cooks to the Saints.
That's
completing the circle.
Yeah, I think. It's almost like, hey, let me just end my career here. You might as well. Yeah, that to me kind of worries me about the Saints offense. Like, really? Is this what we're doing? We're just getting a Band-Aid and patching it on the receiver core?
I know. It's like, oh, man. I want to be in on Olave, especially with Kellen Moore, but, man. Yeah.
If they don't do something, which, again, so far it seems like their answer is to do more of the same. It's like the most stuck in the past or present or whatever, stuck just in neutral franchise. Like, I feel like they have the exact same roster for the past however many years. But it's not working.
It's definitely not working. And can I just ask a question one last time? One last time. Hopefully one last time. Why is anyone still drafting Nick Chubb?
Oh, Nick Chubb.
Why? What is sell me on Nick Chubb?
I'm not the one to sell you on Nick Chubb because I'm not sure, honestly. What team is going to sign him?
If the team's going to sign him, they better do it soon because the NFL draft is coming.
The Raiders. Maybe the Raiders will sign him.
I'm shocked the Cowboys didn't sign him, honestly.
Well, they should, right? Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, Nick Chubb. That would be perfect.
If they signed Nick Chubb, he'd go in he would go in like round 8 or 7 or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
His ADP would fly up. All right, looking at it here, I got Diami Brown, Michael Wilson, Kareem Hunt, who's apparently still a Chief for some reason. That's ugly. I mean, Josevich still on the board, but we have T.
Did somebody take Gabe Davis yet?
No, that's another guy. I'm like, why are we still drafting him? But how? But in fairness, why is Nick Chubb going ahead of Gabe Davis? At least Gabe Davis
Has a
healthy.
Yeah, is on a team. A number 2 is does not had season-ending surgery multiple times, and yeah.
I mean, season-ending surgery back-to-back years, like
yeah,
a knee and a foot. Like, and he's a running back. You kind of need your knees and foot.
Yeah, it's helpful generally. Well, there goes Michael Wilson. I mean, out of those names, I guess Diami Brown.
Yeah, I'm probably too high on Diami Brown, honestly. Well, there goes Hunt. We could go Kendre, but I mean, I'm at the point where I can't really draft Kendre anymore. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, at least he has a path.
Actually, we're done. We need to only draft running back from here on out. Actually, now that I look, we need 3 running backs.
3 running backs. All right.
So I guess Kendre. I guess Kendre. Kendre it is. Welcome back to the team, Kendre. I'm ready for you to disappoint me once again.
Just one last time. This is it. Last shot this season. Who else? Who's on the board? Because it's going to come back to us.
Mostert, Lloyd, Shipley. I do like Shipley. Tucker, McLaughlin, Gibson, Rashawn Johnson, Raheem Sanders, Jordan James. I don't mind Jordan James, kind of sneaky. Trevor Etienne, I like him. Kind of like Shipley. He could be the Saquon handcuff.
Well, yeah, Gainwell's gone, so yeah, do Shipley. We don't know, but yeah, like guys like Estime and McLaughlin. I know people are like, oh, Jamali's gone. There's no way Denver doesn't come out of the draft with a running back.
I would be shocked if they don't.
Blake has a question. Interesting. Okay. No, one of these guys have been drafted. I don't think the other has. Any interest in last round MVS or Mike Williams, who is back with the Chargers?
Nah, I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Mike Williams. But I mean, MVS, like, come on, you get maybe 1 or 2 games a year. Like, I need more than 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, at least Mike Williams is going to have some touchdown upside, right? Being in that offense. I mean, I'm not the biggest Mike Williams fan anymore, but I think we can, to some extent, excuse last year because, he just basically was ignored by the Jets. And then, well, it's kind of odd. The Steelers, traded for him and then didn't use him. He was ignored there too, which makes you wonder why, but.
Well, I think a lot of people, like, I talked about this last year, like, a lot of people got really excited about Mike Williams on the Jets last year, completely forgetting that he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
It's hard to come back, that first year off torn ACL, especially at his age. So I could see, he's got Harbaugh now, who obviously, were together in college. But, I mean, really, I'm not taking shots on either of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not drafting MVS. Last round, Williams versus a rookie receiver that may not get drafted. Sure, I'm okay with with Mike Williams in a best ball format. Yep, there he goes. See, you talk him up, he gets drafted.
I mean, he was on the board for a long time. He fell.
Okay, we need what? One more running back?
One more running back. Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, Raheem Sanders, Jordan James, Trevor Etienne.
Let's go. We don't have enough rookies. Let's go James.
All right, I'm fine with James because I've taken a lot of Trevor Etienne. So let's go James. I want get some James exposure.
All right, and then we'll only have one team to break down.
Yes.
And that's okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It filled up in mine. I just joined and it half filled like that. So I wonder they're starting to fill faster before the draft.
People well, now there's no little board. Everybody's got to do the big board.
That's true. I hope I'm seeing this right. Did I say Daniel Jones?
Yep, somebody's in on Daniel Jones, and they have Anthony Richardson. So I guess their theory is I have the Colts QB.
Ride or die.
Which if you have the Colts QB, do you really even have a QB?
I mean, they could actually give you negative points some weeks.
True. That isn't even like a joke. He actually could.
Yeah. All right. That's it, right? 20 rounds.
That's it. We got a few more picks. I'm not sure how I feel about this team. Let's see how it looks.
Yeah, it's an interesting build the way we did it. Well, let's see. All right. It is over. There's that beautiful big board, which, by the way, reminder, we pull up the roster and break it down. Jump in on Underdog. You'll see when you go to drafts, which is there at the top left, and you go to the lobby, and you're going to have to pick your sport. NFL is kind of pushed a little bit to the right side, because, it's not happening right now. But just look for it. You'll see it pretty easily. It's not too many options for drafts. And then there's big, bigger, biggest. Pick your flavor. More money means more prizes. And remember, if you sign up for the very first time on Underdog, because you don't have one yet, don't have an account, you can get bonus cash as soon as you sign up. They'll match half of your deposit. You can get up to $1,000 of bonus cash, depending on how much you put in there. So we're going to keep doing big boards each and every week. Here's today's. Got Burrow and Caleb Williams. I like going 2 QBs and having one that should be a stud. I mean, I'm not a fan of early QB in general, but like you keep saying, we keep finding that that's where the value's at.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts was still on the board too. That was crazy. But yeah, we took Burrow to stack with T and Caleb to stack with Rome. So
2 stacks, even better. All right, Anchor. They can call us Anchor RB or Hero RB. We got Bijan, and then Najee, B-Rob, Sampson, Miller, Shipley, James. Look, I mean, it's a little sketchy after the 3rd running back, but we'll be fine, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, you only need 2 of these guys a week. Bijan is supposed to carry us week in, week out, so we really only need 1 of these guys every single week, theoretically.
And even though you typically prefer those pass-catching backs, remember, this is half PPR, and this is best ball, so I think getting some touchdown upside and getting those bigger goal line backs like Najee and B-Rob, I think it makes sense. So I do like those picks. T, going with Burrow, Evans, Odunze. I'm still taking all the Odunze I can to go with Caleb. Pearsall, Mims, Palmer, Restrepo, and Tolbert. I like the weekly ceiling for wide receivers 4 through. I guess we can count Tolbert 4 through 8.
Yeah, really, all of them have weekly ceiling, which is what you want a wide receiver. So I think that's good.
And the 3-headed monster at tight end, as we're prone to do.
Totally fine. Totally fine.
I like it. I think this could be a winner. Well, let's see, guys. Put together your winner. You still have plenty of chances. The big board will be open until it fills. And then the day we're waiting for, really, we're looking forward to the NFL draft, right? Because it's obviously important and fun. But especially because after the NFL draft, Best Ball Mania. And that's what we're really going to get into it. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you joining us. If you haven't joined yet, again, all the info on how to join Underdog and how to get your free pick plus your deposit match is right there. Just use code ENDGAME. That's it. So try Underdog if you haven't already, and hopefully next time you can jump in a draft with us. We'll actually get in one of these things together. All right. See you on the next one.